candidates for president, it will take many years to grow another Les Payne or that kind of journalist, that kind of ilk. Do you have a comprehensive plan to pressure media companies to hold on to black staff who have decades of seniority? Angelo.
I think the voice of someone like Les Payne is so critical in defining not only where we've been, but where we're going, that I think that we can pressure them. But the reality is that we don't have the ability to tell them it, to only suggest. We don't hire anyone. What do we own? And that's my push, is that NABJ provide a forum for a Les Payne. Okay, it's time that we start creating our own and stop depending on when are we going to start believing in ourselves as much as we do on these institutions that don't believe in us half the time?
What I'm learning is these companies are not discriminating. They are laying off people who are making the big bucks first, the veterans of the organizations as well as the young people. I spoke with Les Payne after he left his job and he left his column behind, and he did not necessarily want anyone speaking up for him. I saw Les Payne last night and told him, ask him, what are you going to do with this great voice that you have? Are you going to take it to the radio? He already has his own website. What are you going to do with it? He said, I just finished writing a book. There are so many valuable skills and assets that we have right here in our organization, and that's what I envision this incubator doing. Giving people the opportunity to sit down, reevaluate their skills, and say, this is what I can do in my own business. I already own my own business. I started my own website. And I also want this incubator to be in a position where we give people start-up capital. We're already partnering with organizations. We're raising big bucks when people say the money isn't there by looking at different partnerships and getting the money in for you.
With the media consolidation, there are fewer places to go in NABJ to get the money that's needed for the convention, for the programs and things you want to do. So Kathy, first, please talk about your ideals for new fundraising tactics for NABJ.
We're already doing it. I'm very excited about taking on the Healthy NABJ initiative. We've already raised $50,000. You'll have a health fair at the convention. We could have raised more money, but we just didn't have enough breakfasts to go around. People wanted to be in a place where they were visible. I'm very excited about that. But I also think that it's time where we put our money where our mouth is, that we have a strategic marketing plan to reach people who will give money to NABJ. For example, bequest. We don't have a planned giving program. We don't go to individuals. That's where the money comes from, individuals, not necessarily nonprofits who may not have, or foundations who may not have the kind of money that they give. I've already put mine in writing, don't knock me off, but NABJ will get money when I die. I want to see more people do that, not just journalists, but non-journalists. And I know that they believe in our mission. It's time for us to have a strategic plan. If you elect me within 90 days, I'll put that plan in action. Thank you.
Well, I think it's really important that we look at creative ways to find money. When I speak about entrepreneurship, it's not just something that I'm saying, it's something that I do. One of the things that we haven't tapped, and that is in the realm of businesses that are looking for other businesses. I feel like I will really have made a success as an NABJ president if we have like a third of our members start companies, and we can now say, and come to NABJ because we not only NABJ, we're not only journalists, but now we're business owners. We have the ability to get companies like QuickBooks, who provide resources for small businesses. We now have a whole entire industry that now is attracted to us because what we do now, we just are not just employees, but we're also employers. And when we start looking at ourselves like that, it changes the source of revenue immediately.
Okay. Last question. Madam Clerk, 2 minutes for each, okay? So we look at you, you both are leaders of NABJ, have served your time, you've got the passion, you've got the hard work, blah, blah, blah. One of you works in the newsroom every day, the other does not. If I'm looking at you and I both care and believe in you, but that's my final choice that I have to get over, what is more important and why? Starting with Angelo first.
I think it's important that you look at the individual, and that's why I invite you to go to www.angelohenderson.com. I am a talk show host, a news talk show host. I deal with matters of the day. I start my day around 6 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning, looking at various newspapers and different blogs and outlets to prepare for a conversation. In our community, I work for Radio 1 Detroit. In the African American community, radio still has so much power. When we talk about informing people about issues and really engaging people in conversations about news, that's what I do. I also have my own company. I mean, there's a variety of things. I also do it. I have a TV correspondent with one of the local networks in Detroit. I'll tell you what, it's for me. I have never been as free and as independent as I have been now. And I've had the top jobs. When you talk about writing for the front page of the Wall Street Journal exclusively, when you talk about being the only black person to win a Pulitzer Prize for the Wall Street Journal, I gave that up. You know why? Because no employer can satisfy all the gifts and talents that I have. And I believe in me. And I want you to start believing in you. You can have a job and a business. It's okay. And you got to be able to take the heat when people criticize you because you're not the norm. You're not the norm in NABJ. You're not the norm anywhere else. But you know what? Let's redefine the norm. I'm about change and reinvention.
I'm about reinvention, restructuring, rebranding NABJ so that we can bring in more money. I have my own business. I still work in a newsroom. I would not have run for this office if I did not have the full financial support of my organization. They are committed to helping NABJ. I have been with you now for 13 years consistently. I was a chapter leader, chapter president. I was the treasurer of my chapter until last year. 13 years of service consistently, never leaving NABJ. I'm going to continue to fight for you because that is what I do. During these tough times call for Kathy Times. A vote for Kathy Times has always been about you. I have an Emmy, I have two. I have a Murrow Award. The last time I was on the campaign trail, I talked to you about police pointing guns in my faces. That story won me an Emmy. But this is about us working together. I talk with you every single day. I'm in a position to do that because it's important for me to understand what is it that I can provide for you. I've done it for 13 years. I want you to check out my record. My website is kathytimes.com. I'm passionate about NABJ. I love NABJ, but I always put my mouth where my money is. I've invested in this organization with my time and efforts. Please take a look at my record because it speaks for itself. I work with Bob, by the way, on that diversity census. This year, we see progress. I talk to CBS News, I talk to the local television stations, I'm talking to them consistently, not just once a year, not just meeting with them in New York. I've been to New York 3 times. Every time we go to a chapter meeting, a board meeting, we're meeting with television stations. I'm helping Bob work on that list of the best and brightest. Don't just ask Byron Pitts about my record. Once again, ask members throughout the country. Ask the Leslie Patterson Tylers when I call them when something goes wrong. Ask DeMarco Morgan. Ask Booker Washington in New York. Ask a young man by the name of Christopher. I need your vote. By the way, Christopher's in Columbus, Georgia. I work for you all.
All right, round of applause, please. Both, be careful what you ask for. One of you may win, and oh my God. I just want to read this card as a comment, not a question, from our founding member, Francis Ward. He writes, "It's great to see so many good candidates in competitive races." So thank you so much. Perfect.